Hello and welcome back to My Mom's Basement and another quick hitter, this time for Black Adam. The hierarchy of the DC universe, the power, it's all changed, as The Rock has been telling us for the last 15 fucking years. This movie I truly never thought was going to get made, Clem. The Rock has been posting his little photoshops of himself as Black Adam since I was making mustard in my diapers and telling us that he was going to be making this character important, that he cared a lot about this character, that he wasn't giving up on it ever. And I got to tell you, he was kind of telling the truth because he got this movie made. And despite the critics telling everyone this is the worst superhero movie ever, and oh my God, DC flubs yet again, I think we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had fun with it. I had fun. I went in with very low expectations at the same point because, again, I'm not a DC guy in general, and I do feel like it usually. You said you're like, I'm gonna go see it, Clem. You don't have to see it. I'll take the bullet. I'll take the hit for the pod. And I said, no, this is a team podcast right here.
I appreciate
and we're with
that.
our friends in the basement, and I went in. And I was satisfied the entire time. I didn't go in with high expectations. I probably went with pretty low expectations. But the thing is, like, I heard from a few people before, and like, pretty fun time. And it's exactly what
Ken, Jack, and Jeff liked it too. Like, what's interesting is all of the critics hate it, and a lot of people online hate it. Everyone I've actually talked to in person has liked it.
I saw the Rotten Tomatoes, and it was like, 45% critics or whatever. It was 87% public. And I'm like, I usually do stand with the public on this shit when it's not like a review bombing or anything like that. And yeah, I had fun. Great music off the top. Like that looped you right in. The world is a vampire.
But also, The Rock was like, as soon as Kanye started going on these rants, he was like, oh my God, we used power in our movie. Fuck. Can we edit that?
Yeah.
He had to be asking everyone, like, can we use a different song in that scene? As soon as it came up, I was like, oh, he had to be kicking himself.
Dude,
it was a good use of the song too. It's good. Like, take everything away from just look at the song from a music perspective. It was used very well in that scene.
Yes, it was used. It was used very well. It's fucking like landmines everywhere as we're trying to navigate.
Awesome. Yeah, this fucking rules. The world is a vampire, though. Like you said, the smashing pumpkins right away. Like, fun action scenes. Every action scene was fun. The JSA, the Justice Society, awesome. Every action scene with them was great. Actually, pretty funny comedy. Like, a lot of the comedic beats actually made me giggle, made me laugh. It was fun. It was a fun movie, and nothing mind-blowing, nothing that's you're leaving the theater going, oh my God, I have to recommend this to everybody because it's amazing. Nothing overly original. A lot of the scenes in the movie actually reminded me of other superhero movies. Like, there were scenes, we'll go into full spoilers. Spoilers for Black Adam. There's Dr. Fate scenes that reminded me straight up of Doctor Strange scenes, which I know Dr. Fate as a character predates Doctor Strange by about like 20 years. And I think Doctor Strange was maybe, I don't know if he was a ripoff of Dr. Fate, but I think he was created by Marvel to kind of say, all right, we have our own sorcerer now. Some of the scenes, though, are like Infinity War-esque scenes.
Completely felt like a Doctor Strange clone, which again, I don't... If there's
kind of in a good way, though. He's my favorite person in the movie. I thought he was awesome.
It was fun as shit, and I'm like, oh shit, Pierce Brosnan is. I didn't go into this knowing anything about the movie other than The Rock was in it. But I didn't even know if I was allowed to say Black Adam again. Like this, when Black Adam started, I think it was like, all right, Black Adam's coming out 2022. I'm like, Adam, am I allowed to say that? Is that okay to say?
And in the movie, they never call him that.
Yeah,
kind of an interesting thing as well, which I was waiting for a long time. Teth Adam?
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, what should we call you? And we get the big title.
Yeah, boom. So
pretty cool ending, actually.
A little bit of
like another like generic ending, but like everything about this movie was generic, but I didn't mind it in a way.
It was, you said it perfectly before you even see it. Like, I just want to go to see a popcorn superhero movie.
Yeah,
and
I said I want to turn my brain off and watch a fun movie. And that's what it was.
I hate to admit this, guys. I'm only getting older, like everyone else in the world. I'm not unique in that sense, but I'm an old. There was a few times where I was kind of like nodding off. AJ's been waking up in the middle of the night. Sienna gets in there, like the kids that just keep me up. I like kind of would like nod off, but like for like a second, and that's and I was like, you know what? I'm not missing anything, but I wake up and it's just good shit going down. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't remember Pierce Brosnan's name. That's just their Doctor Strange in the DC. I don't know that other guy's name. He's basically Ant-Man. Like, that's what I was dealing with.
He can't get small, but he's got the other Ant-Man suit powers.
He's giant Ant-Man.
The little cameo of his uncle being the original Atom Smasher was Henry Winkler. Great cameo. Like, little stuff like that, that'll win me over. I actually said to Ken, Jack, and Jeff, this felt like an MCU movie. Like they tried to make an MCU movie, but then slapped a DC filter over the camera. And they were like, all right, we're going to give you some gritty stuff. We're going to give you some kills that you wouldn't get in the MCU, some more blood than you would get in the MCU. But they still went with the jokes and, you know, the lighthearted tone for a lot of it, the relationship with the kid. Ken Jack said it was the T2 relationship with the kid, which definitely was.
Great call.
I wrote down some pros and cons. First pro, great action scenes. Legit, every action scene I enjoyed up to the final one, which I almost groaned when it's like, all right, we're getting another CGI fest in the third act. But the way they handled it with the Justice Society working with Black Adam, like freeing him and everything, I thought that was cool. Seeing the Doctor Strange, 100, Dr. Fates go around the devil guy. Cool. Also funny that DC was like, fuck, they're not using Mephisto. We're bringing the devil into our universe, motherfuckers. The Justice Society, amazing. They stole the show from me. Every scene with them I loved. Hawkman and Dr. Fate especially.
I have to ask this question. I don't mean to offend the Justice Society or any Justice Society fans. Are they the Walmart Justice League? Because you have two groups with justice.
I think so. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I don't know much about the Justice Society or how many other people are in it. You don't have Superman. You don't have Batman. You ain't you ain't the varsity. Woman, you're the JV.
You don't have Aquaman. You don't have the canceled Flash. Like none of them. I think they are the JV. I think they're kind of like, because Waller was kind of like running them. Are they the good guys Suicide Squad? I don't know. Like
I'm trying to figure out where their hierarchy is in the DCU. Are they like the guardians of, because it did feel like the Suicide Squad became the bad guy version of Guardians, but that was also because James Gunn was making the movie, so it really had that Guardians vibe to it. Which, if you told me, that's the thing about Black Adam, if you told me this was like James Gunn's first project, which it clearly wasn't at DC, I would have said, oh, like he probably made a few changes and made it better. Because it was just like a fun movie, and my dumb brain is going to always, the DC's going to get a glow up in my dumb brain just because James Gunn's involved. If he doesn't do a thing, doesn't even send an email about the movie, I'm going to be like, oh, it's a little better because James Gunn. That's just the filter that I'm going to watch all this shit through from now on. So I'm with you. The Justice Society, definitely a pro.
Every member, I thought they were entertaining. And The Rock promised more of Pierce Brosnan. He was like, I promise you're going to get more Dr. Fate. With the ending of this movie, I don't know necessarily how they'll do that. Maybe a prequel, but I'm down for more Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate. He was great.
Yeah, and all the very, and this was kind of something that goes with a lot of the Guardian stuff too. It was like, oh, what are your powers? Or you're talking more meta with stuff. I enjoyed the talk that the kids had. What do you do? And there's just like good fun banter that you like to see in the comic book movies. Now that like the walls, that was something we enjoyed about She-Hulk too, where it's like, the fourth wall kind of does get addressed and shit like that.
I loved Black Adam walking through walls throughout the entire movie as if it was just like, a hallway with beads in it or something. Like he would just walk right through it. That was great. I love the kid has all like superhero shit on his walls. Like we were kind of talking about in this universe, that's how it is. A lot of people don't love the kid stuff. I wasn't over the moon about the kid stuff whenever you bring a kid into the movie like that, but I didn't think he was as bad as everyone else did.
Can I just say the skateboarding scene?
Too many skateboarding scenes.
There was like
Ken Jack said like the writer of this movie thought skateboarding was as like in vogue as it is in the 90s. And I agree with him. Like nobody skateboards anymore. No disrespect to skateboard. Skateboarding is fucking cool. If you could skateboard and you're good at it, you could hit kickflip on command. That's fucking cool. But nobody skateboards anymore.
Okay, because I don't know if kids are skateboarding. I'm going to take your word on that, obviously, as the young one of the podcast. There was some shit where he's like doing tricks and stuff it wasn't the first skateboarding. He was like the second one, I think. And he's doing tricks. And I'm like, this feels like it was out of the 90s, but not like in a good way. Like I love the 90s. It was bad skateboarding shit. It had almost the Catwoman basketball scene
tailing off the cars and I didn't enjoy that. I loved and was very surprised by the Harcourt cameo in this. I did not expect to see her at all. And then she shows up when they bring Black Adam in, when he goes into his more human form and he's got to go in the incubator or whatever, the little Bacta tank. Seeing her, I was like, holy shit, they're connecting the universe.
We just have turned Bacta into just our thing now. I mean, Boba Fett beat that shit over our head with it, so it's now just become a part of the pocket. It's the my mom's basement with Robbie Clem and the Bacta tank at some point is going to show up.
When they make those in real life, we better get the first prototype.
100%.
Imagine how great that would feel to come out of a Bacta tank, just like none of your joints hurt anymore, like your muscles feel okay. Like
I would give anything for that as an old man, anything in the world for that.
Yeah. And then the post credits, which was very talked about all over. Henry Cavill is back as Superman. I love the story behind this post credits. Supposedly, The Rock went to, I think it was the Hamada guy, and said, I think we need Superman back in this movie. Henry Cavill, I think the fans want it. I know that there was some conflict with the Snyderverse stuff. We don't know what's going to be canon, what's not going to be canon going forward. But Henry Cavill was great as Superman. I want it back. And they said, The Rock, we respect you, but no, absolutely not. And he said, okay, I'm going to go to your bosses. He went right to their bosses, and they approved it immediately. And they filmed this scene in mid-September, Clem.
Oh, shit.
How crazy is that? And it's just a quick little, he's kind of hologram FaceTiming Amanda Waller. He says something like, you don't got anybody on any planet who could take me. And she's like, okay, you're definitely wrong about that. He's like, I'd like to see. And Henry Cavill walks out of the shadows. They give each other a little smile, and they're like, there's a future here. We don't know if it's going to be a fight. We don't know if it's probably going to be initially a fight, and then they team up against someone, as it always is. But I got to say, after Black Adam, I was like, yes, I'm very excited to see Black Adam and Superman clash and be together in a movie and see Henry Cavill and The Rock play off each other. Also, that final Black Adam suit with the cape, fucking fire. It looked great.
Yeah, and that was the thing, is we're just watching Black Adam just, dust people the entire fucking movie. It's like, it's almost unfair. And it's like, who is he going to have that could actually match him? And it's like, well, there's a guy that can match him, right? Superman shows up, and there's an app. Let me get the name of it. I think it's just called After Credits. Yeah, it's just called After Credits, and you just click on it, and it'll just let you know if there is a mid-credit scene, a post-credit scene, and then it has like a 0 to 100.
There wasn't a post in this, was there?
No, just mid-credits, just this one. But it had like 97% approval rating, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking good. And then when she's like, oh, I have someone in the plan, I'm like, are we getting the big Mr. S coming this way? And Mr. S showed the fuck up, and I was like, let's go. And we talked about this on our James Gunn reaction, which, again, you can watch on the YouTube. Getting Superman just involved and good, and just making him feel like a part of the universe and make it cool again to have Superman. That is such a big deal here. And I think putting him next to The Rock makes everyone look cooler next to him, right? So I think that they'll be able to figure out a way. And as soon as this was over, I was like on my phone being like, Black Adam versus Superman, see if there was any comic book fights and shit like that. I was kind of nerding out for a universe I haven't cared about in, I don't know, like 30 fucking years. So
no, not 30. Come on. The Dark Knight was good.
No. I'm talking about. I'm thinking
more the comic
Superman.
universe.
I'm thinking about Superman in the universe.
Okay, fair enough.
Whenever Superman died, I was like invested in it, and that was probably like 97 or so. But I care about him now, and I think he's going to be good. I also had no idea that's like when I remember Penn did something and they told Dave he couldn't do it. He's like, oh no, I'm going to go talk to your bosses and we're going to get this approved like immediately. I love that. And what was that guy's name? Hamada. I don't know much about him. He's done, right? He got
done. He's not at DC anymore.
I feel like he could have been a problem. So I'm very happy to hear that The Rock. Also, put this on the pros list. Black Adam acted like all of us would if we were playing a video game with a guy with unlimited powers. And after a while, you're just bored. You're like, I'm just going to pick the guys up and throw them. I love that was his way. He killed like dozens of people, was just dropping them or throwing them.
There were some like Drax like lines he had too about sarcasm and stuff with Dr. Fate, where he didn't get sarcasm at first and then started trying to use it, that I thought were so funny.
That was sarcasm.
That was all good.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was some good lines. Even like, did you kill him? And then he's like, you hear the guy thud like 2 miles away. He's like, yeah, he didn't make it.
Yeah. So a couple cons. One that I mentioned already, nothing too original going on in this movie, which isn't too much, like as crazy as it sounds, isn't too much of a con for me. Sometimes I just want a down the middle superhero movie, a fastball. That's what this was. First 10, 15 minutes without Black Adam felt like a bit of a drag. I was like, oh my God, show us the fucking superhero. Give us the fucking... And when they did, he came in with a bang. And that first scene where he kills the mercenaries, and he's going so fast and like they can't even keep up with where he is. Pretty awesome. So he did come in with a bang.
Yep. They had to do that too. Like you said, and the mercenaries...
Pushes the one helicopter into the other. I was like, oh fuck. But he also like never totally felt like a big bad guy to me. Like the whole movie, we're told he's like this bad guy and we need to like control him because he can't control his powers. He's going to kill people. Like we also watched Superman destroy Metropolis in his first fight and kill like hundreds of thousands of bystanders. So in this universe, he's not much of a villain. that was another thing where I was like, it's hard for me to buy that.
Let me give a little tip to the people at DC, to James Gunn, who just took over DC. You put The Rock on screen, I'm going to root for The Rock every fucking time. Yeah. If it's The Rock attacking my family, I'm going to be like, kill those motherfuckers, Rock. If you got to do what you got to do. I love The Rock. There's no way you're going to make him like a true villain, even though I guess, like, because even in the WWF, or I guess back then it was a WF, he was a villain, and you're like, yeah, but he's fucking cool. He does the eyebrow. So he does the people's elbow.
He's a villain who would still make everyone laugh. Like, people would laugh and then get back to booing. He's like, oh, fuck, he made me laugh.
It's like, when you face Stone Cold, I'm going to root against you. But against everyone else, I'm kind of rooting for The Rock to win because he's fucking awesome. And he hasn't changed one goddamn bit in all the years since. So, so him not being on screen for that first 15 minutes was painful. And I was like,
just wanted more of him every time. Like, when they would put the kid on screen, I wanted more of The Rock. When they would put the fucking bad guy on screen with the greasy hair that turned into the devil, I wanted more of The Rock. Every time I just wanted more of The Rock. Or, you know what, Justice Society, I'll take that back. When they were on the screen, I was fine with that.
Yep. Well, the first 15 minutes, I'm seeing a 90s skateboard routine and no Rock. I was like, oh, fuck. I just paid for a DC movie. What was I thinking? But they ended up fixing the ship.
And then my final con, which isn't so much a con of the movie as it is a con of the marketing department, they gave away the big reveal in the very first trailer. I think the very first trailer, the first line of it is like, my son was the champion of whatever, you know, and it's like, they do the whole reveal in the movie where, oh my God, it wasn't him. It was his son. And he's the father and he gave him his powers. It's in the first trailer of the movie. So when I was watching this unfold in the movie theater, and I was like, this is really playing out like it's the big twisted turn of the movie. Why would they put that in the trailer?
So as someone that didn't see the trailer, I'm very happy. That would have pissed me off. That would
crazy. I was like, what the fuck? And like, it's a decent twist. Like, in the way it's like executed in the movie, I thought it was like pretty cool. Like, again, nothing too like original. I feel like I've seen that somewhere, but overall it's a fun time. Like, if you're looking for a rainy day movie where you're like, I got 2 hours to kill and it's raining outside and I don't know what to do, go see Black Adam. It's pretty fucking fun.
Yep. So when I went, the tickets were pretty cheap. And it was a pretty empty theater, so I was able to take the notes. And it kind of reminded me like Movie Pass days, right? I think I went during the day one day because I had a bunch of work done. And it's the perfect movie where you're just kind of like unplugging. And it kind of made me want to go back to the movies again more because it's been so long that you can kind of, now that movies are consistently coming out and it stopped being so crazy out there. But even on if you just throw it on TV, it is something I could watch again in the background, which isn't the case with even some good Marvel movies. I don't really want to have on the background. Can I give you 2 pros and 2 cons that I had?
Absolutely.
One, this might just be for me. I like the jolly fat guy. I was a big fan of the uncle.
Yeah, no, he's good. He made me laugh a lot.
Yeah, he had a couple of good lines
when he comes in at the end. He's like, "Don't worry, I die from electricity." So funny.
And that feels like a Chekhov's electricity. Like, I feel like we're gonna see this guy die.
I know. Yeah.
He's gonna suck. But yeah, that was good. And what song? It wasn't Pina Coladas. He had some throwback song that
was it? Yeah, it was a good throwback song.
Let me look. Black Adam.
Look up Black Adam, like throwback song in Van or something.
What are the songs of Black Adam? And by the way, Bullet with Butterfly Wings. I always say the world is a vampire. I can never remember the fucking name.
Yeah.
Paint It Black. Baby Come Back.
Baby Come Back. Yeah. Paint It Black was good though.
They nailed that
in that like helicopter takedown scene. That was really good.
Great
use of music. That was another thing where if you told me James Gunn had an input, I would probably say, oh, did he add a couple songs in and like help with the Justice Society stuff? But no. So they're kind of on the right track.
Which again, like we gave what do we give them, an incomplete or a D- for the because they bumped everything back.
Yeah,
and we're like, you guys can't do that. Maybe you know what, that mid-credit scene, if they moved it back so they could do the Superman thing,
worth it.
Like that was worth it. This is so
got everyone talking too. Like that was unfortunately also spoiled for me on social media before it came out because everyone was tweeting about it. I pulled up TikTok to post a TikTok. I honestly, truly never scroll TikTok. I probably should. It would make me better at like doing the trends and stuff. Never. I only go on the app to post our little videos. I opened it. The first one I saw was the post-credit scene. I was like, motherfucker. It's like from a screening in France or something.
Well, that's a bit, when it's that big of a moment that it does get spoiled for you, it actually does speak of how big it is.
Yeah, it is. People are talking about DC again, know? And I think our boy Kroll tweeted that they dropped the James Gunn news on the night before the Black Panther premiere, which is tonight in Hollywood, I think. So the big news in the comic book world is, how do you feel about James Gunn? Like,
It's dirty
the
game.
wars are on.
I'm liking it. The fucking so that was the Monday Night Wars with the wrestling. What is it's like the Friday afternoon war? What did they? No, Thursday night.
What,
wars, right?
if it's like the 4-color wars? Because like comic books were initially printed with 4 colors.
That could work. That could work.
I don't know.
My other pro was he fucking ripped the devil in half at the end. That was awesome.
Like legit, when he started grabbing the horns, I was like, how is this gonna work? Like, is he gonna fully? And he fully rips him in half. Blood goes everywhere. Like, awesome. Yep. Give me more of that in the DC universe. That's where you could lean on like the grittiness. You don't need as much of the literal darkness where you like turn the lights off and like, what's going on here? You just need more of that stuff where it looks like a Mortal Kombat scene or something.
You can Mortal Kombat your universe. You kind of, and as we showed James going to Suicide Squad, like he's willing to do that. And if you're going to be the grittier franchise because you're not owned by Disney, I think that's going to separate you and make you different. Again, WWF with the Attitude Era, it made everything a little grittier. Or it was kind of like back when WCW or back when WWF was like still in cartoon world, and WCW started being a little grittier by having the outsiders in the crowd and spray painting the belt and shit like that. That is how you make a fucking difference, make a splash. That being said, at some point I was like, if they killed this kid, that would be fucking a gnarly way to make a fucking statement. Like, we're DC. We kill kids that like you've grown to like or at least like kind of root for. I was kind of just like, I don't care about the kid anymore. Like, I understand why he has to be there. I just didn't care about the kid. My con, and this has nothing to do with the movie. I guess it's probably from the comic books. I think they could have rewritten this though. His whole thing about just saying the word Shazam, that was fucking ridiculous.
So that's a big part of Shazam. And I know I'm not the biggest fan of it either. I didn't like Shazam. That was another thing that like people always get on me for, because that's considered one of the best DC movies. I hated everything about it. I like Zachary Levi. I usually like as an actor. I thought he was wrong for the role. I thought the kid was wrong for the role. It's based in Philly. No disrespect to Philly. It was
don't disrespect Philly, but I don't want to fuck Snyderverse people and Philly people coming out of our ass.
It was like a gloomy Philly they based it in. It was like and the kids were just getting bullied for being like orphans. I was like, this feels like a throwback, but in like a weird after school special way. Mm-hmm. I really, that might be my least favorite one. I told Jeff if I wasn't in there with him and like we had a group, I felt disrespectful. I would have walked out. I wouldn't. Yeah. So I would put that at the bottom of my DC list with like, unfortunately, I put Birds of Prey, which I really wanted to love. I put that towards the bottom as well because it was so boring. I was just like, I can't believe I'm watching this. Wonder Woman 84. That's towards the bottom. But like, this is towards the top. I would say the best DCEU movies for me, if you do projects, Peacemaker's number 1, without a shadow of a doubt. I would do Suicide Squad next because I really love that one. And then I would maybe go Man of Steel, which still I give shit for sometimes, but like majority of that movie I enjoy still.
The Batman's independent of all this, right? Because that's not
independent. No, not including that. Yeah. And then I might put Black Adam. Well, Aquaman, I also enjoyed as exactly like this, a turn your brain off movie. I put them in the exact same category. So Aquaman and Black Adam, I'd compare a lot. And both of them, I feel like the lead actor, Jason Momoa and The Rock, just make me like the movie more.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I want to root for this guy. He's pretty badass.
Exactly. Like, I just like these fucking big meathead dudes who are awesome. So, and The Rock
it's like sometimes you want to see Hulk Hogan face Macho Man Randy Savage. It's like, exactly. I understand it's not the most technical affair of chain wrestling, but sometimes that's what you want.
Who was WrestleMania 3? Was that Steamboat Savage? That's like the great technical match. Look at that. So it's like you have that, or then you have Hulk versus Macho
Warrior Man. At WrestleMania 6, and it's like that is fucking awesome. And sometimes you need that. You need the variety, and DC's providing the variety right now. So shout out Black Adam, shout out The Rock. He finally made this fucking movie. He did it.
And he not only that, but Jeff got his fucking viral moment where he threw a fake line out there. And
if people didn't see it, Jeff D. Lowe created a fake tweet where right after Queen Elizabeth died, he tweeted he made a Photoshop that made it seem like The Rock tweeted, "Rest in peace to the Queen. Shame she won't be able to see Black Adam in theaters everywhere on October 22nd or whatever." And it was so fun. The Rock didn't like it. He saw that and was like, "What a disrespectful thing or whatever." Sorry, Rock. Sorry, Dwayne. Pretty funny though.
I forgot to throw this out there, but I think we have to do it. It is a movie.
Fast food.
So we'll have to think of this one on the fly here. Something you didn't expect to like, but you were like, you know what, that was pretty good. But it's like I didn't love like it's not like oh my god this is the greatest thing ever. I have an idea of something, but it's almost too good of a.
Oh, you know what? I think I have mine.
All right, hit me.
I don't know how people are going to feel about this. I think I'm going to go with McDonald's spicy nuggets because they're not Wendy's chicken or spicy nuggets. Like Wendy's spicy nuggets, which have dropped off recently.
Yes.
Just say that first
Agreed.
of all. They used to be the coup de grace of spicy nuggets, in my opinion. McDonald's debuted theirs. I tried them with spicy sauce. I think you did as well, right? Did you do a video?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I thought they were good. I didn't think they were great. I'm not going back and reordering McDonald's spicy nuggets very often. But you know what? In the moment, I was like, these are okay. These are pretty good. So I'm going McDonald's spicy nuggets.
That's fair. I'm going to go. All right. I'm not going to go this the one I was originally thinking of there.
I'll really think hard for these. If people don't realize, like, these are.
This guts me because
this means more than a 5-star from Roger Ebert or whatever. This means more.
I'm going to go with the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese.
Ooh.
It's good.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, I'm not getting it as a side. I'm not getting it as a meal. It was perfectly fine. It's The Rock, mac and cheese, two things that I've loved my entire
Staples.
life. The only thing is I was like, can I really compare DC to Chick-fil-A? I can't do that because Chick-fil-A is damn near Marvel in my opinion. But something good, something I could have again, right? But I'm not going out of my way to have it. So all in all, pretty fucking good. So Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, McDonald's spicy nuggets.
Which I don't even know if they're still available on the menu.
They come and go. I go to Mickey D's a lot. Strictly, I don't love going to Mickey D's all that much. With my kids' Happy Meals, you have to go. So I can tell you everything that's. By the way, they're giving away currently the Happy Meal is the old pumpkins, the old pumpkin buckets. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
So they're back.
Like the plastic.
Store. Yeah.
Wow.
And we got all three. We got the orange, the white, and the green. So they're all back in the stores now.
Are you a McRib guy? So that's coming back.
I have never had the McRib. It's almost
that surprises me as a snack guy.
Yeah, it's mostly because it was never out when I was doing my 15-second reviews. And it's come to the point where people are so pro McRib. I'm like, I don't want to get
I had it once. I got to be honest. I didn't like it. Which, let me say this. I don't really love ribs. I don't really love barbecue food. I'm not a crazy barbecue food guy. I'll fuck with a good pulled chicken, pulled pork, something like that. But I didn't like the McRib. I thought it was trash.
I am with McDonald's. I don't really like having their meat. I don't eat their hamburger. I'm not a hamburger guy at McDonald's.
Oh, really?
When I was young, I didn't love the burgers as a kid. I think they had onions on the burgers when I was a kid.
They still do, diced onions.
I don't like diced onions on my burgers. And back in like fucking when I was growing up, I don't think you could even like order without. I was like, no, this is how you're getting it, asshole. So I never went with the burgers. Always a chicken guy at McDonald's. So then you're throwing pork fucking rib slab with barbecue at me? No, thank you. We've all seen the pictures of different McDonald's foods, being prepared and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just sticking with chicken and going home very happily.
In our household, we did recreated McChickens recently. It was like the healthier alternative or whatever. We found a recipe on TikTok. Shout out Jeff D. Lowe was the one who sent it over. A fast food connoisseur himself. Was like, don't these look awesome? Like you could make your own McChickens. I was like, that does look awesome. So we did it and they were awesome. So if anyone wants that recipe, hit me up and I'll send it over.
And can we just agree? Can we all agree they need to bring back the fucking chicken selects? Those were
chicken selects, so good, and they had them in London when I went and I got them.
Oh, how were they, Bob? Good. Give me the truth.
They were exactly as you remember them.
And I feel like London, like since it's England and like Europe, they could probably use like the really fucked up oil that's really bad for your body. Where in America we have to protect ourselves. Oh, I might fly to London just to have them. I didn't realize
they have a whole different menu in London. Some interesting stuff, like a vegan menu. They got a lot of different stuff on the McDonald's.
I heard they call the burger the quarter pounder a Royale with cheese. Is that true?
I think it is. Yeah.
Because of the metric system.
All right, that was our Black Adam review and also fast food review at the end. So hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to The Rock for making this movie. Shout out to DC for hiring James Gunn. We will see you guys soon.